You slept 8 full hours last night, but you woke up drained and hollow. Take a guy we'll call Daniel. 31, decent job, no major life crisis you could point to on a chart. Yet he wakes up feeling behind. By noon, his brain is in a fog, and he's snapping at small things that never used to touch him. Or consider Maya, a nurse coming off a 12-hour shift. She climbs into bed and scrolls on her phone for 2 hours to decompress, unaware she's just clocked in for overtime at a noise factory that never closes. When Daniel is too fried to open a book, or Maya can't stomach a quiet evening, they assume something in their bodies has grown weak. But their inability to engage with a slow, quiet life is a symptom of a mind buried under more input than any human was built to carry. The heaviness dragging them down is the weight of taking in too much, a burden far different from simply doing too much. When we hit that wall of mental fog, our logical instinct is to switch off and relax. We feel tired, so we reach for what we think is a break. But modern relaxation often means pouring in more light, more sound, and more fragmented stories. It is the equivalent of a man dying of thirst and deciding to drink seawater. Every swallow feels like relief while it deepens the emergency. We are treating an illness of too much with a heavier dose of too much. The very thing draining us walks in wearing the costume of the cure. To understand why a full tank feels empty, we have to look at a chemical almost everyone gets wrong. Dopamine is the anticipation chemical, the molecule of more. It fires hardest in the chase toward a thing, rather than the moment of getting it. Every single notification and every swipe to the next video delivers a small, effortless hit of that chase. When you bombard your brain with this high-intensity input from the moment you wake up, you flood the system. To protect against this fire hose of input, your brain turns down its dopamine output and thins its receptors. This leaves you in a dopamine deficit state. Your baseline is dragged so high that the ordinary depth of life falls beneath it. A brain in deficit doesn't crave rest. It craves more intense stimulation just to climb back up to feeling normal. It is a cycle of counterfeit relief. Your focus is a finite fuel tank called directed attention. Every time you filter out noise, resist a buzzing phone, or recover from an interruption, you spend from it. A connected day makes 1,000 tiny withdrawals until that reservoir is completely dry. This specific tank only refills through soft fascination, a gentle, undemanding kind of attention that cannot be found in more input. Scrolling your phone requires your mind to judge, choose, and compare every half second. It is demanding work disguised as relaxation. Soft fascination is watching clouds drift, a fire burn down, or water run over stones, moments where there is nothing to resist. Real rest is the absence of demand, rather than just the absence of activity. You can diagnose yourself by the quality of your fatigue. Real, earned tiredness feels heavy and clean, pulling you toward sleep. Overstimulation is a wired, jittery, hollow tired, where the body wants to lie down, but the mind won't stop pacing. 2,000 years before the smartphone, the philosopher Seneca recognized this exact condition. He warned that a mind shattered by chasing too much must be granted the leisure of stillness so that it can gather itself back. Marcus Aurelius, running an empire on days he felt exactly this kind of tired, relied on a specific medicine. He prescribed retreating into the quiet of his own soul by deliberately closing off the input. Old wisdom and new neuroscience say the same thing. You do not recover by stacking gentler stimulation on top of the pile. You recover by taking the pile away. These stakes are high because your discipline is downstream of your attention. A man who cannot tolerate a quiet moment cannot concentrate, and a man who cannot concentrate can only drift. The reach for the phone when a lull opens is a trained flinch away from stillness, rather than conscious decision. The discipline is learning to feel that reach and not obey it. When you finally stop the input, the first minutes are the worst. Your mind will throw a tantrum, demanding its hit. That discomfort is the signal of a system going through withdrawal. Spend 20 minutes today doing absolutely nothing. No screen, no podcast, no background noise. Sit in a room or take a walk and let it feel unbearable. Stay anyway. The measure of a strong mind in this age is how much quiet it can stand without flinching.